Germany calling the British Isles. And what Germany isn't calling the British Isles is nobody's business. This is Lord Haw-Haw, spelt with a hyphen, of Hamburg, Gießen, and DJA. Hello, you bounders, here is the news, the nasty news. Food is so short in England that in order to prevent looting, it's being packed into balloons and sent up into the air out of reach. Hungry people have been seen throwing darts at a soup balloon at Liverpool near Cornwall. In some parts of the country, scraps are actually being tossed to ravenous crowds. In other parts, frightened women are taking their food with them. Fearing government confiscation of their rations if left at home, Londoners living in the Cotton Gardens are carrying them about. A nice lot of baskets they are. Thanks to our glorious blockade, there is hardly any bread in England, and the people are having to put up with toast. To sharpen appetites that don't exist, the poorer people are eating razor blades, and a light meal is often nothing more than a few bowls. The British pact with Turkey shows that you fellows can't see further than the parson's nose. Some people think that the wily bird looks like the German minister of propaganda, Goebbels. Heil Gestapo! Most so-called businessmen have gone into liquidation. No wonder they can't be trusted. Fear of air raids is so terrible that the much-vaunted Englishman's castle, pardon my smile, has had to be built underground. At last, proud Albion has been made to eat worms. To save their heads as well as their faces, English women are wearing what they pretend are the latest fashions. This is what the poor deluded creatures call having their fling. The English used to talk of things being as safe as houses, but the houses, like the English, have got bats in the belfries. All football pools have been banned owing to shortage of water. Already there are signs of disagreement between the so-called allies. The British soldiers won't even take French leave. Instead of watching football, the people gather in trembling crowds, fearfully awaiting the latest news from the front. And when the bad news does come, Britannia doesn't rule the wavelengths anymore. The BBC have moved to a little place in the country called Somewhere. Doesn't seem such a bad idea, either. Petrol is so scarce that commercial travelers are having to use cars that burn up old socks for fuel. People in a hurry are obliged to use other means of transport. In some of the bigger towns, traffic has been brought to a complete standstill. With all dress material commandeered for barrage balloons, women are having to wear their last year's clothes. The blackout is so black that you can't see a hand behind you. Experiments have been made with trained glowworms in some of the main streets on the principle of easy come, easy glow. This plan had to be abandoned in favor of torches. These are usually without batteries to save light. Churchill again. Yesterday, a British warship was engaged off the coast of Birmingham and reduced to matchwood. And who would dare say now that you cads are not a nation of warmongers? If the English had their way, our Führer would be told to go east. But you seem to be making arrangements for him to go west. Do you really think the Führer's neck is as big as this? As to the future, what do the stars foretell? Heil Hitler!